Hello everyone, this is Judith with another video. Yeah, it's been some time. And here I am. And we are talking about twin flames, right? That's such an interesting topic because it's so new and we are all pioneers when it comes to this ascension path that we do as a couple, right? And nobody really knows. But maybe one thing, if you desire your twin flame, then your twin flame is here, right? If you have this idea and this feeling that you have a twin flame, or that there is a specific person, your twin flame, then you have a twin flame, right? It might be someone different, maybe not the person that you have on your mind, but this really doesn't matter. And I hope that this is not triggering you. Those things were for sure like triggering me, but just take it as an information, and it does not need to apply to you, right? So the person that you believe to be your twin flame is your twin flame until life proves differently, right? Yeah, but today it's all about self-love, really, and what you can expect from this self-love. First of all, what you can try every once in a while to get there is to claim that, right? To say, I calibrate to my frequency of self-love. And what is the magic word here? The magic word that I found is my. Because there is a frequency of unconditional love, a frequency of self-love, but maybe there is no such, there is a frequency like that. It's a certain vibration, but there is something very unique to you. You have a specific melody, right? There is a specific tune that is your soul song. That is your self-love. That is what you're calibrating to. It's not something that everyone else is calibrating to. It's in the same spectrum, but it's unique. It's unique to you, and that's why sometimes people also say that they recognize the love of their life by this soul song, by this song, right? And that's exactly how it is. And so even if you don't have something in mind, for example, I don't have a specific like a tune or song or something in my mind, but when I calibrate to my specific frequency of self-love, then everything becomes very calm. And I instantly would, for example, like take a deep breath, and then my body I would have a reaction in my body, and then what dominates is beingness. And in this beingness, what I feel is that I feel good. I do not need anything. That's another thing, right? When it comes to twin flames, we often say, well, then you don't need your twin flame anymore. What does that mean, right? It's not, you cannot fake that, because it's when you are in this self-love, in your own frequency of self-love, which is also love, basically, then you don't need anything. You just are. It's this beingness. It's you're just here with who you are, and that's something that's coming for you, for every one of you, right? And the only thing that's keeping you maybe from being in this place is you have to do the work. Yeah, and that's basically by loving the things that are coming up for you. And those things may be feel very maybe challenging, right? And whether those are things that you have to face in your twin flame relationship, or on the twin flame journey with what you go through with your divine counterpart, or whether it's maybe someone else in your life, right, that is giving you a hard time. And that's all. So nothing is really random. Everything is like showing you something, showing you an issue, and the universe is so it's set up in such an intelligent way that it really gives you the exact components. Everything it's a different scenario, but it all points to your wound. And sometimes it also all points towards a solution, right? But when there are different pillars, so to speak. I always call it pillars, but now we are like talking about healing. And the healing is like the transformation of energy, right? All the things that are programmed into your energy body, into your mind, right? Your brain. It's really also very physical. That's why we also feel the trauma or the pain in our body. I'm not really like talking about physical pain, but more emotional pain, right? That we feel it in our bodies when we are sad, when we are like angry, or when we are craving, or whatever it is, right? Most of our when it comes to addictions, then that's our coping mechanism, right? We cope with all those feelings that we cannot process. And very often it is because we were very young, we were children, we really couldn't process things, and that we might maybe be able to process them now, or we might now be able to just leave a situation, right? But sometimes now on the twin flame journey, it's sometimes not very useful to just leave challenging things, because for sure you will like face the next challenge because those challenges are set up to show us something that we need to resolve. So that's brilliant, right? So we can in fact welcome this and be detectives and find out, what is this trying to tell me, what is this pointing out to me. And then if you don't know how to, well, you can work with me. I know how to go very specific to those things that need to be resolved specifically for you right now, and pinpoint them and just clear and transform the energies. When you face an issue, in my perspective, right? In my perspective, you can, for example, only work on ancestral patterns, ancestral issues, and you would maybe have results when you do this to a certain extent. But when you face a challenge, you have an issue in your life, then what usually shows up is that for a huge part, it's like on the personality level, like for you, what you've experienced in this lifetime. But a lot of it is also like for the soul group. You share this with other soul group members. They go through similar things. Or it's an ancestral pattern, or it's something from a past life, right? So there are various levels that can be considered, and all ties in to this one issue. It's complex. Some is also like related to where you live. Maybe even to where your parents live or where your parents come from. So it's complex, right? And yeah, and we need to have a little bit kind of an idea how to get to this place of self-love, right? And what we need to work through. Yeah, and I can give you a map. I offer an introductory session, and in this introductory session we already do healing. I already do like an overall clearing, and I also point out kind of a map to you what the steps to twin flame union look like for you, right? So yeah, you find my office in the description box. There is a link for you, and if you want to start and do some energy clearing right away, I've also created a webinar, a free webinar. It's also in the description box, so you can get started with clearing the energies, right? And there's some information included as well, some teaching. Yeah, the feelings are in the center really of everything, but very often now it's experimenting, right? So it's on the one hand, we take what is, we look at what comes up, but we don't want to stay there very long, because we then re-traumatize ourselves. We don't want to do that. So we just want to see, like an observer, what's coming up, right? Oh yeah, I feel this, that, and the other. And very often, and maybe that is you, for sure this was me, you maybe don't know what label to put on that feeling. Because very often when we start the healing journey, then it's a whole overwhelming pile of emotions, and you cannot even, it's just overwhelming. You cannot even give it a name. Maybe you call it something. Maybe you call it fear, for example. But then really it's not only fear. It's a lot of different flavors, and I can also disentangle those things for you and really give you an idea also what you are feeling or what you have been feeling, right? That's also very, very valuable when we get help with, like, looking at ourselves and getting a better discernment what we are feeling, in fact, right? So that's one thing, that we have to look at what we are feeling, what's coming up for us. And that's often, as I said, it's orchestrated in a different way, but it refers to something from the past or from a past life, right? And the other thing is also, when it comes, for example, to this feeling of self-love, then it's also that we are like watching out for certain feelings, right? There are things that we are like heading towards love. We're heading towards unconditional love, towards peace. I've often talked about joy. We want to feel appreciation, because that's also very high vibration. So we want to go there, higher up, right? And so we have an idea, or we're looking for those feelings. When do I feel this, or how can I evoke this feeling? Can I, like I said, I calibrate to the frequency of joy, or I calibrate to my frequency of joy, right? Because that's what I found out lately, and I wanted to give you this, that it's, I always said I calibrate to unconditional love, or I calibrate to whatever. But now I'm experimenting with like putting my in between. I calibrate to my joy. My joy is a unique joy, right? I feel joy. I feel joy, I don't know, but I express maybe joy in a different way. I express it differently than you. You have a different joy. Still, I can recognize it's joy, right? You have a different flavor about you when you feel love, when you radiate love, because it's all about the light that we hold, you know? When we are in a higher vibration, we can hold more light. And then we radiate more light, right? It's just, that's what it's all about. And when we are like vibrating in this unique frequency of who we truly are, then we are like, our twin flame can recognize us, right? That's also something. It's yeah. Then we are magnetic, basically, to our divine counterpart, right? Yeah, so it's the talk about is about twin flames is endless. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and for sure I will show up for another video soon. And yeah, I wish you a beautiful day, everyone. Take care, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now.